Friends of Christ, grace to you and peace from God the Father and from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. In our Revised Common Lectionary, each week we get some alternative readings. It's not often that I look at those alternative ones, but for some reason this week I decided to. And boy, do I wish I hadn't. Listen to these words from one of the alternative readings for today. How deserted lies the city, once so full of people. How like a widow she is, who once was great among the nations. She who was queen among the provinces has now become a slave. Bitterly she weeps at night. Tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers there is none to comfort her. All her friends have betrayed her. They have become her enemies. After affliction and harsh labor, Judah has gone into exile. She dwells among the nations. She finds no resting place. All who pursue her have overtaken her in the midst of her distress. The roads to Zion mourn, for no one comes to her. All her gateways are desolate, her priests groan, her maidens grieve, and she is in bitter anguish. And I tell you what, if I read for 5 more minutes from this book of the Bible, I would depress the heck out of each and every one of you. I don't know how often you have made a decision to take a look at the book of Lamentations. It's one of those books that for most people, the only time they ever say the word Lamentations is if they're reciting the books of the Old Testament. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations. It kind of squeezes in there. But as the word says, it is probably one of the saddest books of the Bible. I thought, there's got to be some joy in this. You know, usually even on the Psalms that are really dark, like Psalm 22, at the end of the Psalm, there's joy. At the end of the Psalm, there is a reason to make you smile. I'm going to read to you the last 2 verses in the book of Lamentations. Restore us to yourself, O Lord, that we may return. Renew our days as of old, unless you have utterly rejected us and are angry with us beyond all measure. Ugh. Not a whole lot of joy in that one. The book of Lamentations, and the word Lamentations, to lament, to be sad, to grieve, covers all 5 chapters of the book. So I just wanted to let you know that if ever you were, as a Norwegian, feeling too happy, too smiley, just turn to the book of Lamentations, read for 5 minutes, and I guarantee you it'll depress you. It's kind of like our psalm today, which uses a great word. One of those words that I used to hear my grandpa use or my folks. The word fret. I mean, how many times do we use the word fret? You know, don't fret this. Don't fret that. The writer of that psalm talks about a subject that I think a whole lot of us think about from time to time. We think about all those people who get ahead of us. We think of all those people who don't follow things the way we think Christians should follow. And for some reason, everything turns out roses for them. While we struggle, while in sorrow, we turn our heads, and it seems as if nothing good happens. But the psalmist, in just a few verses, 3 times says, don't fret. Don't worry about it. It's kind of like that song many years ago, Don't Worry, Be Happy, you know? Everything happens to the guy in that song, just awful things. You know, the landlord says his rent is late, he's going to have to litigate, and everything else happens to him, but the line is, don't worry, be happy. Don't fret. So much of our lives, I think, are caught up in fretting, in thinking, in just being so clamored with all of the things that happen around us that we fail to remember what's in front of us. Our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who says to us, don't worry. A God who says to us, don't let it bother you. Don't fret. Be happy. I had some reason to fret, and as I think about it now, boy, what stupid reasons to fret this weekend. The Minnesota Twins. If ever there was a reason to fret about something, it was that. You know, never mind that the 3 football teams in college that I support all had great games and all had wonderful weekends. I was fretting about the Twins. And then I stopped and said, come on, it's only a game. Yes, those guys are making millions and millions of dollars. So I'm guessing that they're probably not fretting as much that they lost the 2 games as I was. But it's just a silly example of the things that take over us. The things that cause us to say, Lord, come on, why do those guys get to do that? And we don't. God says don't fret, because in the end, look what you're going to get. Look at the joy that will be yours. Look at the love that will be yours forever. I think of Leona and the joy that she had. True joy. Not being able or having to fret about anything. To just peacefully fade away. The sound of victory. These words from our psalmist today are not complicated. They're a pretty simple message. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things that are going to get you down. But don't let them. Don't let them. I'll never forget that when I was the pastor of the prison congregation, new people used to come up, new to the faith, and they'd go, Pastor, what, you know, I just am going to start, I want to try to be a Christian, you know, in the Bible, what book should I start reading first? And even before I start to say anything, and usually my statement would be, you know, why don't you start with the Psalms? Why don't you start reading those? Every person would go, oh, no, I'm going to start with the book of Revelation. And I'm going, okay. And I said, do you know what that book is all about? Oh, gosh, yeah, it's got some of the great things. It's talking about fire and end times and all this kind of stuff. And I said, yeah, it does, but you know what it also talks about? A revelation to John, who gets to look at the entire book, and in the end, finds out, we win. We win. Our psalmist says today, yeah, there's going to be things that make you grieve. But in the end, we win. We win.